Alrighty. Which one's first? It is, College Teeth is first. Hey everyone, and welcome officially to Jaraci Cup 9, as I pause to take a sip on my drink. Gotta start it out with a Magpie reference. Anyway, glad to finally start casting this. These games, gonna be from Groupstage B that we're casting first, because these were the first games played at the tournament. Obviously started about a week and a half ago. And this is gonna be between MarchWaden here, playing as the Conif. He's the Red Forces. And his opponent on the south end here of the map, playing as the Soban, as the sort of putrid yellow and purple color. This is gonna be Cookies. Going that carrot production upgrade first here, probably going to be a bit of LAV spam from him. But this will be a fun series to watch. You expect MarchWaden should be the favorite here. Just because he's really good. I mean, he's like, I don't know exact numbers of who's best in the world right now, but I'd put him at least at like 5th, right? But Cookies is no slouch either. He's definitely going to put up a show here, I expect. So, it'll be fun to watch and see what he does. With that production upgrade already on the queue, though, you really don't expect AAVs, right? This is going to be LAV spam here. Which is fair. This is College Teeth, of course, we have to recognize. The map pick going to be MarchWaden's here. He picks Conif first. Cookies picks Sawan in response, and then March picks Teeth. And College Teeth not going to be like an auto win for Conif, right? But it is a very, very good map, because he gets to that late game condition of having Conif siege. Going to feel really nice. And the carrier, obviously, really powerful too with that missile system. But the targeting jammers from the base runners for the Swan player are going to be good too for clogging up the gaps here. But we often see AAV rush on this map just because obviously it's very good. Very, very good on this map, right? Because the rush distance is really low. But he's going to go for LAV spam instead. And hello, Houston. He's got that little first by his name for a reason, you know? He's a real dedicated viewer. Ref mode, by the way, done for MarchWaden here. Hey, Cookies! Yeah, great. That's perfect timing. I wonder if MarchWaden is online too, but he may not be, but that's alright. We've got many replays of his to cast, I'm sure. Don't expect him to get knocked out in the round of 16, you know what I mean? Or a round of 8, we don't even have a 16 in this tournament. This is a lot of LAVs, by the way. This is already 6, 2 more popping out just now. He's gonna hit fleet cap now in just a moment. It looks like he's starting to build salves instead. So this is where you ask, okay, is he going to go into an SC or is he going to continue building LAVs here? But at any rate, he's going to move out across the field. Does saturate the main base there, as you can see. Looks like he only had one LDM here this whole time, but hasn't really been wanting for CUs, clearly. He's been able to get everything that he needed. You should be working, but meh. Yeah, that's relatable. It's actually finals week for me, but... you know... I do a lot of studying. I gotta get a bit of free time in here. I do enjoy casting DOK. I've really been missing this, so it's a nice thing to take a break with. LAVs, by the way, for Cookies, did get mobilized across the field, as I said. Now, MarchWaden saw them with that sand skimmer. He's gonna pull back the PC now. The question is, does he bring his carrier out to the front line, is what he... or, how do I say, out to the second base, that is. Because right now, obviously, you can't mine off that second. He does have ref mode done. Gonna lose a sand skimmer there, too. These LAVs already starting to trade for some good value. They're pushing MarchWaden back here. We do have 2 PC out now, which means that MarchWaden, still no tech, right? But he can actually just outproduce the LAVs. But it's gonna take a long time. Uh-oh. These skims just getting themselves killed here. I don't know exactly what the play here is supposed to be. Cookie's trying to micro that one guy over the dune, which is very nice to see. He actually almost gets him out. But he's gonna kill the salvager, too. No, it looks like he stopped focusing it. But MarchWaden's not pulling him back, so this guy may well die. Yeah, he does, in fact. And as I expected, all those skims going down too there. So kind of a weak start for MarchWaden. This is unexpected. Gonna fling one of those missiles out. Does land a pretty direct hit on that guy. He's gotta feel a bit persecuted for that one. And Sport Cruiser does come out from Cookies, so it looks like that's the follow-up. But he's queued up a second one already. Oh, boy. You know, I kind of like this, but I also would like to see tech, and it's probably a choice between one of those two, if I'm being honest. He does have a base sprinter queued too, though. I like this, because again, like I said, sub-1 base sprinters with that targeting jammer, very, very strong on this map here. It looks like a couple more LAVs did die, so MarchWaden feeling confident to move out across now. But again, if he had those skims still, right, I mean, this would be looking much better for him. As it stands, he's actually behind on eco, and he's not ahead in tech either. It looks like Assault Ship tech actually did get started a little early for him. But Cookies has Railgun Fab on the way already. So, I don't know, I feel like Cookies is really ahead here. I mean, definitely in terms of eco, he's pretty clearly ahead. We got no salvagers on the second base for MarchWaden, although he does have ref mode, so... Not gonna take long for him to get to 3 base, but Cookies is there faster. There's no contesting that. He's kind of having a bit of trouble with this carrier. I would actually just move the Sport Cruiser there, because I feel like the carrier better in the middle on this map. This is really, like, far out in the corner. You want him here in the middle. It means shorter queue time for your units to get out to the front line. And then on top of that, you know, you don't have to worry about this awkward carrier blocking here. But it's also probably going to be more in position to, like, deal with the... Oh yeah, it looks like he has kind of the same conclusion. Savon carrier is so annoying. Yep, I agree. Now here's a little tip I've got for you now. When you see the salvagers trailing like a Sport Cruiser like that, see they almost have the same speed, right? Just like hit C, and that turns off the resource controller, which means that they'll have to go back. And then you can hit C again, and the Sport Cruiser is in position, and then... you won't have this problem going on. Just a little tip there. It looks like he's going to be attacked on his main base now, just a little bit. But he does have the ALMs here. I think this is a bit of an overreaction. It's only 2 skims for now. LAVs are coming back to defend. He doesn't actually have to pull off the line here, I don't think. Maybe it's a good instinct, but I don't think he needed to do it, actually. But MarchWaden with a lot of skims right now. He's actually coming on a flank on the other side, too. Going to look to try and find this 3rd base. And yeah, the LAVs that were over there are going to move out because obviously, you know, they think that's where they need to be. As a result, looks like AV Fab started up here. I am actually curious about the, if after you turn off resource controller, never turn it on again until the end of the game. Yep, yeah, that's actually a pro move right there. Why are my salvagers not dropping off? I have done that before. But yeah, he went for Railtech, right? And MarchWaden had gone for Assault Ships, actually, which is interesting. Would be nice to have rails to kind of like deal with that now, but he's actually gone into AAVs right after. Hasn't built any rails yet. Which, you know, that's not bad to have AAV tech as well, right? Because then you get like the armor upgrades and stuff, but it does feel like he's kind of backed into that a little bit. I think maybe just going for AAVs right from the get-go would be the better move here. He's still kind of moving all these LAVs together, though. He's going to chunk these 2 skins, which is nice, but he's still a little bit late to the party over here, although probably will keep the space from alive. He's got boost, actually, it looks like, yeah. But not going to use that ability. The problem is, though, he needs to send as many LAVs as he needs to respond so that he can have some guys back here on this side, because now his Sport Cruiser are going to take a little bit more damage. You know what, eventually this can be capitalized on. He's at least going to get an ALM this time, it looks like. MarchWaden trying to micro that over the dune. Did everything properly there, but the ALM happened to be targeting him, so he ended up going down there. But again, see this? All the LAVs going back onto this side. What's he going to do? He's going to come straight back in, right? So, definitely a little bit of splitting would go a long way here for Cookies. And very, very good upgrades for MarchWaden, by the way, but he's... Whoa! What the heck? He still hasn't filled out the second base. I'm only just noticing this now. Oh my gosh. Salvagers here, by the way, in a bit of disarray. It looks like an AAV is there to cover now. And actually, 1 AAV plus Sport Cruiser, that should be enough to hold the space. So he is kind of getting things back under control now as Cookies. Straight to BC Fab. Whoa. Well, I didn't expect that. I mean, ACs are so good on this map, right? I really expected to see this. But MarchWaden, he's sparing no expense here. He's just building skims. He doesn't care about eco at all, apparently. This is crazy. Think you cancel BC? We shall see, eh? Could be, because this seems very out of the blue, right? Especially when you only see skims, you've got to imagine some kind of a tech is coming, right? In this case, it really should be coming if MarchWaden had some eco behind this. It's very curious to see he doesn't have any, but... yeah, generally you got to assume, well, some kind of a tech is coming. Often air comes in these scenarios when you have, like a really long time like this that you're only seeing, you know, Strikecraft, right? In this case, it's kind of sieged. And Battlecruiser is not going to do so bad against that, I suppose, but, maybe it doesn't matter, because, oh my gosh, look at this. Now MarchWaden has to evacuate his main base, his only base, mind you. Conf Siege can be done in 35 seconds, that does nothing about this. Yeah, this is a very uncharacteristic play. I feel like he's really making a lot of mistakes here. And yeah, this is going to be Salves dead galore here, look at this. Ooh. Bit of high ground there, very nice. I mean, it's totally fine to dive under the carrier to get these kills here, because it's definitely worth it to gut the eco like that. Unless your opponent can just turn around and do the same to you, but that's definitely not the case here. 3 base to 0 now, I kind of say. Maybe we'll give him 1/2. He's got RU salves here, but that's not where MarchWaden wanted to be. Cookies with a big float, by the way, so that money lead is not totally felt here, but Yeah, MarchWaden's gonna be wishing he had a float. He's got to get these guys on his CUs, actually, or else he can't build any salvagers back, which is really rough. That's not where you want to be. And here come the AAVs. And, well, there's nothing to stop them, right? I mean, he's got assault ship tech, but he hasn't built anything. Oh, dear. What happened to ya boy? This is looking pretty rough. He's got to bring that carrier back to the main. I mean, surely he sees these AAVs will just drive over there. Cookies with the salvager retired there, thinking he had one extra, but he's actually not fully saturated yet. You can tell by looking up here on the top right, see it says 8 and 5. Well, there's definitely 6 RU patches. What's up with that, right? When you hit F3, find the idle. Check to see, like, if you should be mining somewhere first. Oh man, MarchWaden with his carrier way out of position. What's he doing over here now? Ooh. 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 Let me get a nice little miss there. I thought that was gonna land like right on it, but not so. We do have BCs on the queue here now. MagXL coming out too, with a bunch of railguns being built. That looks like a game-finishing army. MarchWaden may well just GG out before that, though. I mean, he's got nothing left here. This is definitely endgame type of scenario. When you get to this position, you don't stabilize, right? Yeah, he sees that he's gonna GG. And Cookies will take game 1 here off of the series. I really thought, like I said at the beginning, should probably be MarchWaden favorite. But Cookies starting it out strong. This was the map that he... What am I trying to say? This was MarchWaden's map pick, so very, very nice stuff from him. Yeah, it just feels like MarchWaden, I don't know what he was doing, you know what I mean? Like, he kind of, like, he had a lot of pressure on with these skims. Okay, well, now you build up some eco on the back line. He just didn't, well, he didn't, you know what I mean? I guess that's all I can say. And then the LAVs started coming to counter pressure, and he just, like, folded. I don't know what was going on. Oh, well, into game 2 we go. This one's going to be Canyon Outpost, Cookie's pick here. But this time, it looks like we have a faction swap. You can do this, of course, in Groupstage. Cookie's picking Con F first. MarchWaden just gonna match it, though. That is, of course, the faction that he plays almost exclusively, I think. I believe we've seen him do a little bit of Saban, right? But not much. And Cookie's gonna pick Canyon. So here we are in the Canyon Outpost. Interesting map, fun map. I like this one, although I tend to ban it because I feel like a lot of the strats that I go for are not terribly good on this. It's not a terrible rail rush map because, like, this approach can be pretty good for you, but it's very all or nothing in a sense. And then it's an interesting map in particular because, like, the carrier naturally wants to move out toward the third, but when you do that on this map, you realize all of a sudden, like, well, now he can't cross the bridge, so actually it's kind of like away from the carrier front line, I guess you could call it, which is over here. But, like, this is the rush, like, the fastest rush timing, right, is to go across the bridge here. The closest distance to your enemies. So it's really interesting, like, it kind of forces you to play a little bit differently. Which I like, but I tend to ban it, actually, because I don't do very well on it. So, but I like it as a map quite a lot, and I really like the games that we see played on it, too. MarchWaden, by the way, going for some 2PC stuff here. We haven't seen this in a while. Feels so weird. Yeah, but like I said, in a way that I really like. I wonder... No, there's no way to open up the outside here. This is probably like the map border. You get this thing when you like expand a map beyond its border where units like sink into the dirt. It's really weird. So it probably can't be expanded on that side. But I don't really think it needs it. I mean, I think this map is a lot of fun. It's an interesting one, alright. The only real problems I think it has is like dune layout around like the second bases, but yeah, I could see that. Anyway, enough talk though. This game is getting underway. Now when you do 1 PC against 2 PC, which Cookies can see it, this is obviously 2 PC here, right? He wants to actually trade in the beginning with the sand skimmers because he should have the numbers advantage because he started building first, right? But at the same time, he's got to be pulling his PC back here and saying, okay, he's gonna get more skims out than I am, but I'm gonna have the faster tech than him, so I need to pull back, buy a little bit of time, and then come back in. Looks like he's now got assault ships done. Gonna start chonking. Here come the skims. It's looking good so far. Obviously, the assault ship is such a threat here that the skims kind of have to focus it in a sense, but that allows Cookie's skims to just do all the damage in the world that they want. They basically have like infinite tank because they're not getting shot at. MarchWaden sees it, gonna back away here now, but he will build up a very big, a very big skim advantage here just by having the 2 PC as opposed to Cookie's 1. But I would actually prefer this position, where Cookie's is having just the 1 PC. He's got armor 1 already, that's very nice. Taking fleet capacity now, but I imagine he's going to build another assault ship just in a moment. Excuse me. Now he's got a choice here of what he wants to do. I often will go for ref mode here now, right, and try and go back up onto 2 base. What's this interesting? So, MarchWaden is like sending the skims out on like a mission to go out on the outside here. Cookies is actually kind of responding, I think, the way that MarchWaden would want him to. Which is to back away and come back to his bases himself. I don't think he needs to, because skims are not going to kill eco the same way that assault ships will, and normally that's not even on the table, right? But if your opponent just up and leaves, I feel like you just kill his eco here. Well, we'll see how Cookies responds, though. He's going to want to slip into close combat weapons once he realizes his opponent is here, and then probably get Power Reserve 1 as well. But when he sees that all the skims are here, he's also going to want to just dive right in there and start getting kills, so let's see what he does. Cell's going to start going down now. These guys can call for line, they will. Puts the power in there. Power 1 on the way. Okay, good. So now the only thing that he's lacking... Uh-oh! Oh, you really don't want to do this. Ooh. He's going to get eco damage here either way, right? The question is, can I do more? And the Salvager retire there, I think, is maybe a mistake too, because you basically say like, okay, well, you've done all your damage already, because once you retire, you know, I mean, they're already dead, basically. They've been killed in a sense. Probably gonna lose a PC here too, and see again, like those Salvagers give so much more time that they can kind of tank the skims in a way. Okay, now he's coming back with the assault ships. That's what he wants to do. Once you know, like, hey, my opponent's army is not at home, you really ought to just go straight in and go ham, right? See how many Salvagers you can kill. So. Big mistake there by Cookies. This is going to cost him, I expect. He may keep this PC alive, though. Just have to see. At the worst, he can retire it, I suppose. But yeah, it looks like he'll keep it alive. But now he really needs to be building salvagers. Oh gosh, he's got to cancel this. He doesn't have any money for salves right now. Oh, jeez. I'm sure he'll catch that. That's not very common. Yeah, he does catch that. Not very common to see that kind of stuff happen. You should cancel one of these guys and build another off the carrier, though. That's definitely the right call here. He's got these assault ships again ready to go and do some damage to MarchWaden's eco here, but he's just been kind of sleeping on it. So, unfortunate to see. But MarchWaden's still with no tech, still doing kind of weird stuff. I mentioned this before, like, earlier this week, I think, on the Discord. People are talking about, like, builds where you only make sand skimmers. I'm like, you kind of deserve to die if you do that, I think. Not like in real life, you know what I'm saying. You know, it's not a solid build, right? I feel like you really, Also, this is a very nice carry block here by MarchWaden. But, like, if you don't make tech like MarchWaden has done here... Oh, actually, now he's got rail tech. I kind of take it back a bit. But you kind of deserve to lose that game, I think, because, like, that's really not a solid way to play. Game should be able to do some amount of harasser. Yeah, but I think that they can. That was a whole discussion, wasn't it? The thesis, I guess, that Rompa was trying to put out was that, like, skims can't do anything in the early game, and I feel like that's just really silly. Oof. Well, that's too bad. You'll have to watch the VOD back then. I gave some juicy advice there, but. For now, my advice would be, actually, these skims ought to stay home. I was saying before, the assault ships really just had to go ham, right? But right now, he wants to be back here, I think. And just, you know, be ready to, excuse me, reaching for something. He wants to be ready to defend against these skims in case there's, like, more of them than he thinks. But as it stands, though, he's actually going to find a bit of value here, so maybe this is alright. Missile by MarchWaden, gonna land. Well, very nice hit there. There isn't really any follow-up though, but it actually kind of dissuades Cookies from going in there, so it doesn't manage to finish any kills. That's my CPU. It's a Ryzen 3900X, I think. Might be 3700. I can't remember the number. Don't tell me a whole, you know, a new line of CPUs is coming out too, man. Because I already feel a little bit silly with my 2070. Because like the 3070 is like just come out and it's like the same price but a lot more performance. Good fight from MarchWaden, by the way. He does have a bit of high ground on the start here, but he's actually kind of whiffing the trade, which is interesting. He should have just stayed on the high ground up on this like fin here, right? But that's all right. The two armies is gonna pass each other. Ref mode on the way now for Cookies. MarchWaden this time with a very big eco lead, and he's gonna go straight to honor guards. Oh boy. Better not check any tech websites then. Oh no. Ah shoot, man. Well, that's okay. That's okay. I didn't have to wait for what I bought, so I mean, it was worth it in the end. I've been quite enjoying this baby. Looks like Cookie's gonna get the better end of this trade here, but importantly, MarchWaden is seeing how much eco his opponent has got, though, right? And seeing like the salvagers moving too, he probably assumes as well like rift mode isn't done yet, which is true. Just now finishing here. So MarchWaden should know, okay, I've got a really massive lead right now, and that's why he's going straight to honor guards, because he thinks that he can. He can, right? I shouldn't say thinks. He knows. Whoa, my headphone fell out. Okay, so my headphones are like broken, like the left one. No, the right one doesn't make any sound now, so I'm using like earbuds instead, and earbuds just don't fit in my head. I don't know why. They always fall out. But anyway, MarchWaden here with the base runner. Has grabbed one of the artifacts there, but a couple skims is going to ward him off for a second. Assault rail is here though, as well as a couple skims. He will definitely have to leave while Cookies. So MarchWaden should get that base runner out. The thing is, this is a really nice position for MarchWaden because he's got the army to make a push, but he doesn't have the necessity to make the push here, right? Which is something I've talked about a lot before. Although I've changed my mind on what term I want to use for it. I'm calling this the, well shoot, I don't really know what I'm going to call it yet. The push obligation, there we go, right? You have to push in some cases because your opponent is just building up more eco and you have the army. But if you have the army and the eco, you're really just sitting pretty. You can do nothing and still win, right? And that's where MarchWaden is at. So, really, really comfortable position for him. Yeah, I mean, I agree. You're just going to be really, really far behind here. Although you're putting up a pretty good fight, I suppose I would say. But this is why, again, like those assault chips, once the skimmers, you see them here, you've just got to immediately go in, right? Because you can trade that damage. Assault chips will do better in a carrier dive than skimmers will. This is a nice trade, though. And another base runner produced by MarchWaden, but it's going to be taken out here. He's got Honor Guard tech. Really wants to be building that instead. And it looks like he does have one up on the queue. Yeah, I agree with that A-game. Because again, like I said, you've got the push obligation when you have the better army but the worse eco situation, right? But if you have both against you, you really just want to wait for your opponent to make a mistake. There's not really much else you can do. Carrier for MarchWaden mobilizing here, by the way. I don't know about this. Just leave that back at home, I would say. Because obviously, having that uncontested 3 base and like unmatched, I guess that's what I'm trying to say, that's really, really nice. Like, I think you should be happy with that. Just leave that carrier back home and get that money. But, you know, to each their own, I suppose. He does have a bit of a float. I mean, maybe he feels like he can't spend, but in that case, another PC would be definitely... Another PC would definitely be in order here, I guess I'll say. Power 3, by the way, coming in from Cookie. So, like, the thing is, this 2-base play is actually really not terrible in a sense, but it is going to always fall behind in money unless MarchWaden's doing this kind of silliness, but... Uh-oh, Honor Guard, by the way, yeah, ooh, about to get some beefy shots off. Looks like these skims are actually all going to get away with their lives, so despite that, oh boy. Yeah, if that thing shot off again, he would have died, like, he would have killed like 4 sand skimmers. But yeah, this 2-base play is actually not super terrible. It is going to fall behind in eco always, but, you know, it looks okay. It's just that, like, if your opponent sits here, and then you deny the artifacts, but you're always behind on money. I had this problem a lot in JC7, I think it was, when I was playing against... Is that true? Yeah, I think so. In the finals against A-game, I kept trying to like move out my carrier to like stop artifacts in the early game, and I would just really die to it because, you know, I didn't have any money, right? So eventually the macro would just catch up to me. Oh, Skims, you really don't want to go in here. Ooh. When there's honor guards, just run. Yeah, this is why. Yeah, Honor guards are not good for skims. They gotta stay behind cover anytime that you see those units coming out here. MarchWaden, though, he's bold. He's just gonna match the carrier roam here with one of his own. The thing is, he's got the flank, so I kind of understand why he's doing that, and he should actually push harder on this side. The only problem is he can't. Well, he can't do this, that's for sure. But he can't let the his opponent's carrier get up there because he's actually behind on power here, fairly significantly. Cookies, by the way, yet to power up his carrier. But... yeah, that's what I would suggest. This honor guard here gonna get some pretty beefy shots off as well. Now I noticed that Cookies was teching air here. He's gonna launch when he's got. Well, actually, maybe he could kill this. Oh my gosh. Oh. Well, I take it back. Very well played. But he actually has already got honor guard anti-air, and Cookies just saw it off of that honor guard, or at least if he was paying attention, he may have caught this. Can't take this fight, by the way. These are 3 assault rails, which can actually do quite a bit of damage. So yeah, he's gonna power up the healing here, just trying to get out. Both combat weapons powered to full here. That is actually going to do a lot of damage to these assault rails, but there are... well, that's not a heavy, it's just an honor guard, but just an honor guard. But yeah, there's definitely a lot of follow-up here. In fact, he may really have to just power up the speed and get out of here. I think he's going to die. Because there's no way he's going to out-heal the carrier missiles. Yeah, actually, this is probably just the end of the game here. Ripperonis. So it's going to be a 1-1 for this series, it looks like. But yeah, Cookies, I think, definitely had... I mean, he obviously had the better game in Game 1 there, where MarchWaden was doing weird stuff, just not prioritizing eco at all. But on this game, Game 2, I feel like Cookies still had the advantage in the early game, but he made a critical mistake not diving in with the assault ships when he saw the skims had left. So, I agree, well fought. I mean, especially when you get behind, you know, it's not easy to catch back up, but I feel like Cookies did fine. Gonna be a 1-1 then. What better way to start out the tournament, huh? Hope you guys enjoyed it. Let's move on to the next one.